And welcome back to Crypto Hawk Show. Got a good one lined up. Get this thing set up first. It's Sunday morning here at about 7:10. 7:10. Get some water going. My throat's getting all dried up. First five are Five Dennis 123, Michelle, Pablo Escobar, Hanglish, IBEW Dan, and Mark Swindell. Let's see what article. We got the deep dive with Japan. And let's see what other one we got. Stellar. Let's go Wyoming. We're going to start off with Wyoming. The state of Wyoming. Coming up with their own cryptocurrency, I see. Very interesting move. You know, when I saw this article, it doesn't really matter. Right now, we don't have federal regulations. So you have a state that's doing something that, in my opinion, the federal government could undo later on. But let's look at this article here. It's very interesting. You got the governor of the state. You have a news article, Cowboy State Daily. That's the newspaper. Wyoming is moving swiftly towards becoming the first state. Now, this is all interesting in theater, right? Let's look at this. All the Fintech is in California that started. But yet, you have Wyoming, the state that's the furthest away from Fintech that I could see, coming up with their own crypto. Very interesting. It's just like, how weird is that, right? California, where all this started. San Francisco's where Ripple is, where Stellar, Andreessen Horowitz, all the players are in California, but yet it doesn't start here. I want you to see all this, okay? These are the fucking games that these people are playing. Wyoming, the first state to offer a state-backed cryptocurrency. Governor Mark Gordon said Thursday at a Jackson Tech conference, unveiling innovations in the digital financial sector while issuing what is known as a stable token or stable coin is not technologically difficult. Getting the policy structure around that digital asset just right is the tricky part. So they're in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which I'm not familiar with that, but I guess a lot of big rich people go there to make policies or whatever. I've heard of it. I don't pay attention to it or anything like that. Enough, Gordon said that he's confident the state is on track to issue what will be the nation's first stable token. Here we go again, right? in the first quarter of 2025. See what I mean? Crypto Hulk, you know what? I think you're right. Something is going to happen in spring of 2025. This is what it's saying right here. The first quarter of 2025. That's January, February, March. That's spring. March is spring. Even late March. See, this is what I was telling you back in 2023. Plenty of time ahead. I said, you know what? March. I said spring. Back in, I think, September, October. of 2023, something was telling me, you know what? I'm thinking like early 2025. And here it is again, right? So it's not that I'm just making shit up, is that I saw this as a trend back in late 2023. Here we go again. For the state, it's a wonderful way to diversify our economy. It is exciting to see as many trust companies have started to move here. Financial firms that are looking at Wyoming, understanding we have the ability to be first movers very quickly and intelligently. The Wyoming legislature in May passed the Wyoming Stable Token Act that created a special commission to study the issue and ultimately issue stable tokens, which are usually tied to another asset class, such as the US dollar. The state is one of the first in the country to explore its own cryptocurrency. Interesting, huh? Now, this next section here says Federal Reserve holding back innovation. See, that's what we've seen. This Ripple trial, what did Crypto Hulk say from day one? Fake trial. Remember the the come on in and all that other dumb shit, digital dildos, the digital asshat investor, and all that reporting twice a day on the trial. Let's get Jeremy Hogan in here to tell us. Let's get John Deaton to explain to us what's going on. Remember how I never reported on the trial for years? I never reported on the trial because it's fake. What did I do? I told you about the 2015 Ripple settlement. So there's your clarification right there. All the other channels reading off twice a day about the Ripple trial, trying to get headlines, trying to get views and all that stuff. But Crypto Hulk, why don't you read off the trial? Because it's fake. Because we already have it. Clarity from 2015. So there was a time before 2008 when capitalism was really important. And that meant failure could happen, said Gordon, who is a former Class B federal director for the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City. Somewhere around that 2008 timeframe, we made a decision that too big to fail is something the government is going to stand behind. So this guy who's the governor used to work for the Federal Reserve. Very interesting. He says the Federal Reserve now is more of a big drag, is more of a drag on innovation than an opportunity to put American first. You hear that? That's very interesting. I'm not going to read the rest of this. This is actually a pretty good article. But the main point I just wanted to show you is that Wyoming is coming out with a crypto, let's call it, and the governor has worked for the Federal Reserve, so he knows what he's doing in that area right there. Let me check some comments. We'll go to the next article. I think we'll either go to India or Japan. Let's see here. Giorgio E. Thanks for the tax-free donation to the channel. 5 Dennis 123. Maybe crypto will be state tax-free. Dennis, if crypto is considered currency, which we know the XRP is, there's no tax on it. 5 days, 1, 2, 3. Wyoming has a very unique tax advantage. Trust. Crypto Hawk knows about Wyoming. No comment. Very familiar. All right. Wyoming and Utah have crypto banking. Digital dildos. The digital dildos. Come on in. That's so fucking stupid. How embarrassing. Oh, India right now. See, yeah, a lot of stuff. You notice how it's interesting. None of this news is almost in America. None at all. Right? Yeah, we get something from Wyoming, but it's like not even. It looks like all of my news. Yeah, all my news is never about America. It's interesting. It's almost out everything outside of the USA, all on purpose. It's like the fake trial. Okay, let me see. I think this is what we'll go with right here. Kitch J. Thanks for a tax-free donation. Dave Ryan creeping in to test. You know what? I caught you. Let's start with this article here. So India. India India has been like anti-crypto, pro-crypto, anti-crypto, pro. They're like ambivalent. They don't know like what they want. Yes, they do. But let's look at this article here. Indian fintech Phone P. So it's PHONE and then capital PE. Launches credit use on app. PhoneP is rolling out a way for Indian consumers to link their credit lines to UPI on its platform. So what we got here is this. We have a fintech company called PhoneP who wants to get mixed in with the government's payment system of UPI. Okay. Now, NCPI is India's payment system. So what we have here is a private company trying to get into the national payment system is what we have. Um, they're they're working with the Reserve Bank of India. If we go down here to the seven seven paragraph below, you'll see Walmart. This is very interesting now. Walmart, which has a majority stake in Phone P, said in June that the fintech company is years away from going public. So, what what we got is a fintech company that wants to be a bank, that wants to have the ability to give loans and do a lot of these other things, but they have to get legitimized. They have to have rules, regulations. They don't want to be an FTX, Sam Bankman Fried, where people get ripped off. Now, Walmart comes into the game, and that's pretty good because Walmart brings legitimacy. Now, Walmart's retail, it's not a bank, obviously, but Walmart actually tried to get a patent on this. We'll get into this later. um, Phone P. Let me show you. Let me make a little video.
Let me show you.
There's phone P. This is like 2020. There's the CEO. There's their David Schwartz. Not too much. Let me send that video. Okay. So what we got is a very small company, and in India, you're not going to have big banks like from America coming in. This is how Ripple. This is how Ripple gets it going. You find, look, Ripple's not trying to take over every country. It's not going to be like that. What you're going to have are little companies or sometimes big companies, but little companies getting the help from Ripple to where it's not Ripple coming into India and taking over. It's Phone P. It's FX Mart Private Limited. It says here, Phone P is a brand owned by Phone P Private Limited, formerly known as FX Mart PVT Ltd. It is licensed by the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, this is what we got, is Ripple helping companies and countries get to where they need to be. Ripple's not in the business of taking over other countries, it's getting them going. So Ripple will find a little company like this that Flipkart at one point owned, Flipkart, and helping them do technologically wise what they got to do. So let's look at Phone P on Wikipedia. Now we're going to get into a little bit of a deep dive, a little bit more, we could say. Let me show you this. Jason Schotch, thank you very much for the tax-free donation. Appreciate that. Five Dennis 123. India has a caste social pecking order that will be smashed by crypto. The rich are fighting it. So if we look at Wikipedia, we look up Phone P. Let's just take a quick little look. Phone P is an Indian digital payments and financial service company. It comes out of Bengaluru, Karnataka, India. The Phone P app is based on the UPI, United Payments Interface. Now, Ripple's a part of that with NPCI. This is where it all comes in. Now, what I found is very interesting. Go to the history section. It says here in 2015 that Phone P was acquired by Flipkart, but then in 2016, so we're talking 8 years ago, Phone P was partnered with Yes Bank to launch a UPI-based mobile payment system. What's interesting to know, that Yes Bank is a Ripple partner. Here we go. So I did the deep dive on the Phone P. and found the connections. So 8 years ago, Phone P started working with Yes Bank. So Phone P was like a fintech company, and then they hooked up with Yes Bank to get them in the India's UPI NPCI payment system. See how that works? Ripple was right there. Now, very important. Let me do a copy paste right here. XR Panorama member for 3 months, right on. And then SRIB 1, thank you very much for the tax-free donation. SRIB 1 member for 10 months at the 2024 crypto explosion level. Thanks, Hulk and Crypto Hulk members. I'm just showing all the connections, man. How India, let's look right here. Google-backed payment company Ripple. Do you understand this? How big this is? You got Google, one of the biggest fintech companies in the world, linked up with Ripple. Now they're working together in India on something called NPCI, their National Payments Corporation. And you got Yes Bank and Axis Bank. Yes Bank's one of the biggest banks in India, by the way. I think HDFC is the number one. Ripple's a partner of them. Look, Ripple is all about India. The Indian government, I'm just letting you know, if you're from India, your government's lying to you. All right. And I'm just showing evidence. Like, look, I'm not selling shit, obviously. Wait a minute. I have to sell some shit right now. The Black Swan is coming. You need to get gold from Crypto Hulk. Gold and silver. Now, if you need a hardware wallet, I got that too. I do make money off the hardware wallets. If you see any gold chains that I sell, I make a portion on that. But let's go real quick to my channel. I'm going to show you how to get my gold and silver coins. Let's see. So let me click on getting to my channel. All right, you'll see the home tab, videos, shorts, live, playlist. Click on videos. Now in the video section, you'll see different videos. Not all of them, almost all of them have what I have to sell. Click on the one that shows the Ripple and the coin. All right, and it says 1,166 views, 11 hours ago, 16 products. If you go a little bit to the right, you'll see the word more, M-O-R-E. You click on that, bam, it drops down. We got Walmart Silver, and they have AppMex. You got American Eagle coins. So this particular video, I just have silver for sale. I do not make any money on the silver or the gold coins, just putting that out there. What that's for is for you. When we have a black swan, things are going to get bad, okay? The dollar's going to crash. It's going to get scary and ugly. If you got precious metals, you're going to make a lot of money. If you don't have any money to buy the precious metals, get a loan. Get a loan, set it up for like maybe a year and a half, 2 years. I'm telling you. If you get gold, for instance, and it goes from 2,500 an ounce to 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 an ounce. If you got silver, some people say silver is going to go to like 500 or $1,000 an ounce. So you buy a coin for 35 bucks. Next thing you know, it's worth like 300. You just 10 times your money. You take a loan for 2 grand. Next thing you know, it might be worth 20,000 bucks. What the silver will do, look, the precious metals are going to get you through a hard time. Maybe you get the precious metals, it goes up to 20 grand, and you go back in and get all the XRP, XLM, and XTC you need. I don't know. My name's Crypto Hulk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. Do not listen to any investment advice that I give on this program. I started one line of Coke, smoked the fat joint, drank 6 shots before the show, and smoked an 8-ball or something. Yeah. So there you go. So let me go back to my article here. So we're looking at Phone P, and it's all about Ripple because they're joined up with the bank, the Indian bank, and Walmart and that kind of thing, right? Let me click on this. So yeah, Yes Bank. And then I just showed you this article here where Google and Ripple are in India working for the National Payments Corporation of India. You see how all this kind of works in? So India, totally, the government knows about Ripple and all that. Here's a Ripple page, how they're partners with Yes Bank. I want you to see that. Right there. There's your Ripple page. Go to the second paragraph. You see right there, Yes Bank. That is 2017. So 7 years ago, Ripple partnered with Yes Bank. Now, something that you might want to know. See, here's how deep Ripple is with India. People in India probably don't know this. Look at this right here. Another connection. It never ends. Ripple's Indian partner joins the Digital Rupee CBDC project. Okay. So India has a project going. Now, this is back in 2023. But India has a project going called the Digital Rupee CBDC project, and Yes Bank, one of India's biggest banks, they're a partner of that. There you go. There's the evidence right there. We're not seeing Bitcoin there. We're not seeing Ethereum. But Crypto Hulk, why is the price 50, 60 cents? You know what? I don't know. I know it's not going to be the price. It can't be the price because it won't work. Ripple can't work at 50 cents a piece. It won't, it can't move the money. It can't move the money it's supposed to move at 50, 60 cents. It's not going to work. If one of these big banks wanted to move $500 million, it won't work. Let's say if it wanted to, because you wouldn't have enough XRPs in the world. Everybody's got their wallets and no, XRP would have to be at 10,000 bucks a piece for that to work. Now, what's interesting to know is that we talked about before Walmart with this Phone P. Let's look at Walmart's connection. We have Dream 3R. Thank you very much for tax-free donation. What do you think about Evernote, Hulk, XRP linked? I don't see Evernote coming up in news at all. So I can't comment on it, but every day I look at news and I never see Evernote. So right here, Walmart. Now this is 5 years ago. This is news here that's 5 years ago. According to a patent filing submitted to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Walmart's currency would serve low income households. So Walmart looked into a cryptocurrency, filing a patent for it. Walmart also notes that credit can be a problem and carrying cash can be problematic for the communities it's targeting, the so called unbanked. So here we have a Reddit page talking about that it might be Stellar that Walmart was trying to work with. Now I'm gonna I'm gonna kind of chime in on this. It's very possible, more than likely, yeah, because Stellar would deal with this kind of a thing to small to mid-sized enterprise. That's what Stellar is. XRP is more for high-end money, but from the evidence, we haven't found anything. But what we do know is that Phone P is working with Yes Bank, and Walmart bought a significant portion of Phone P, the payment system. So we don't have any evidence that Walmart's working with Stellar. But we know that Phone P is with Yes Bank, who's a Ripple partner, and Walmart's heavily into that. So I just wanted to show you that, where some people 5 years ago were saying, oh, maybe Walmart's working with Stellar. We don't have evidence. I've only shown you Phone P with Walmart, with Yes Bank and a Ripple connection, no Stellar. So there you have that. Let's see. Let me drop this link. So let's look. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I think I'll hold up with that. So that article's done. Let me check the comments. We'll go to the next one. But I want you to see now the news. A lot of it's now coming out of Africa. I've been telling you this about the past week. I look up news every day, and what I'm seeing now is Africa. That's the last frontier. In my opinion, I'm going to call this, I'm calling it out. From what I really believe, I think by spring, something very massive is going to happen in crypto, and that might be Africa's hooked up. Okay, I don't know, but that's what I would guess. Russia banks working with XLM, with gold transfer. Andrew McGuire talked about it. I don't know who that is. I see no evidence of that. So remember, a lot of channels will talk about things, and I don't mention anybody in specifics or whatever. I like to only discuss where I have facts. Okay, this is a fact-based channel. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I've never seen anything with Stellar in Russia. The only thing I've ever seen is Ripple in Russia. So, and I know that I'm the pretty good deep diver, more than other channels. So I've never seen anything with Stellar linked in with Russia. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not seeing it. And I see pretty much the most important shit online, and I've never seen a Russian Stellar connection. So, but I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just not seeing it. 5 Dennis, 1, 2, 3. I see the term global south, South Hemisphere regarding BRICS popping up everywhere now. Yes, that south, you're very right. Um, That's a term, like an African type term. And I've seen that too, Dennis, that South. That's been around, that term's been out about 5 years. I was doing studying yesterday, and that term, the South, kept popping up. All right, let me go to the next one. Africa. Binance. Let's go with Binance. Now Africa is going to pop up again. Told you. Be prepared, because Africa is like the last frontier. That's what we're waiting on right now. So the next month, 6 months, we're going to see almost every day something about Africa. I didn't hear shit about Africa for 4.5 years. Okay. I've been making this show almost 4.5 years. Haven't heard anything about Africa. Now all of a sudden. So what does that tell me? It's green light time for Africa to get hooked up. Here's your article here. Binance launches mobile money feature for crypto transactions in Africa. There you go. Crypto exchange Binance has launched its one-click buy-sell service in Africa, enabling people in Ghana, Tanzania, Uganda, and Zambia. So Binance comes in, hooks up with a company called TransFi, TransFi, TransFi. Binance hooks up with TransFi in Africa, and now Binance has 4 countries hooked up to where somebody can just use their phone. Because remember, a lot of people in Africa are poor. So some of them that might have some money have a phone. And what they're trying to do is get them Starlink and get them phones, and they're pretty much good to go. This initiative aims to enhance financial inclusion, particularly for the unbanked and underbanked. If we scroll down below, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 paragraph, you'll see what's called TransFi, TransFi. That's the company they're working with. Binance. And let's take a little peek at TransFi right here. Let me know if this link goes through. Robert Bobby Driscoll, thank you very much for that donation. What is Africa, the last frontier? That's pretty much what I'm seeing. 4.5 years, 4.5 years of doing this shit. Almost never seen anything about Africa at all. Nothing. All of a sudden now, the past 2 weeks, every day it's Africa. 3 to 4 articles are popping up. So what that's showing me, and I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Not that I know, or maybe Africa's not getting hooked up, but it is, because from 4 years of doing this shit, I haven't seen barely anything on Africa at all. Now all of a sudden, it's every fucking day it's Africa. Like, I'm sure if I look for news this afternoon for tonight's show, I'm going to try to make a PM show at about 5:30 tonight, maybe 6 p.m. Pacific. I'm sure there'll be something on Africa. So that's just, Africa has got the green light. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. It's the last frontier. When the continent of Africa is hooked up, I think it's a go time, and that'll be next year, hopefully by springtime. That's what I'm kind of guessing. All right. So did that link go through? Oh, link is good. Okay. What are we looking at? Here's TransFi. It's their page from 2022. If just in case you're wanting to look at it, it looks very basic and simple, doesn't it? Okay, nothing special. You have to look at their CEO, an actual picture, their chief technology officer, the chief business officer, and the lawyer. And I want you to look at this. Like, these are people from India. They look Indian to me, not African. Yeah, these people are definitely Indian. Now, what I want you to notice, scroll all the way to the bottom. All the way to the bottom. This TransFi is incorporated in Delaware. That's where Ripple got incorporated. A lot of these corporations come out of Delaware for some reason. All right. We have a fintech company. Look at this. We have a fintech company coming out of Delaware in Africa, working with Binance. I don't have all the answers for all this stuff. I'm just showing you. What we do have here, though, is TransFi is working with Consensus. Look at this right here. Let me do a copy paste to show you. US 3-letter agency. That's what I'm really thinking, Dennis. Is this stuff that's come? Okay, look. You get this, like this little company coming out of Delaware. All these people look Indian. They have no history. It's a brand new startup. It just pops up somewhere. And they're working with Binance to hook country. They're hooking countries up. So 3-letter agency, I can go with that, definitely. It took a while, but Africa seems to be like, it's Africa's time right now. Because I've been reading articles and there's barely anything with, you have some Mojo Loop stuff or whatever, a little tiny bit of stuff from Stellar working with Flutterwave or whatever. But there's not. But now all of a sudden, every damn day, it's Africa, Africa, India, Africa, India, Africa. That's what I'm seeing. So there you have that. Now we know. Okay, so they're working with Consensus. Like, no, they are. But I'm waiting to see the Stellar, the Ripple connection. I'm really thinking it's Stellar. Because we know Consensus, these things are not interoperable. If it's not one of the, everything's going to be the top three: XLM, XRP, and XDC. It's going to be one of those three. I just really like digging. I couldn't really find too much. I did my due diligence. Mojo Loop or XLM, yeah, it would probably be something like Mojo Loop working with TransFi, something like that. But it's a little sneaky. I don't know if I showed you. I probably did and forgot. But here is the connection with Consensus. Right there. Okay. Now, Stellar, let's look here. We do a copy paste. You got, look, all those top three X cryptos, they're going to run the world. All right. If they're not partners with one of those three, then they're partners of a partner. That's how this thing works. Ain't shit gonna get done unless XRP or XLM is there for payments or XDC is there for the real world tokenized assets. So let's look right here at Stellar. Now, this is about 2 years old. Building stellar infrastructure in Africa. I'm not going to deep dive this whatsoever. I just want you to look. According to the World Bank, Sub-Saharan Africa remains the most expensive region to send money. Now, also according to the World Bank, XRP is considered a global stable coin. Just saying. Now, this is a Stellar page, so I don't want to rob their fame and fortune and talk about XRP. But this is a Stellar page. They've got Flutterwave, Cowrie Integrated Systems, and Click Pesa. Stellar is working with these three companies to hook up Africa, which costs a lot of money to send money all throughout Africa. That's what they're saying. I'm not going to read the article. It's very interesting. I looked through it yesterday, but I just wanted to show you those connections right there. Stellar's partners in Africa. Now, we can't forget this right here, which is Unafric. That's, let me copy paste this for you. So we have a little bit of proof that Stellar is in Africa. Here's this article here. It's a Ripple page. Ripple partners with Onafric, ONAFRIQ, to power digital assets. Onafric was a company called MFS Africa. It changed its name to Onafric when PayAngel from the United Kingdom, PYYPL from the Middle East, and Zazi Transfer from Australia came into this game. If you look, they got, what paragraph one? Fifth paragraph. This is pretty amazing. Onafric has 500 million mobile wallet users in Africa. 500 million. That's pretty amazing right there. If you scroll to the bottom of the white section, you'll see all the countries that Ripple has with Onafric. There's a lot. Benin, Botswana, Burkina Faso, Burundi, Central African Republic, Egypt. There's probably about maybe 15 to 20 here. So that's your connection with Ripple right there. We check the comments here. We're getting closer. You know, look, Africa is probably your most difficult continent because as big as it is, you've got all these different countries, right? So imagine Russia. Russia was Russia. You got one country in Russia. And then China. We got Ripple Russia, right? So Ripple knocked out Russia 10 years ago. Ripple's got China. Now, but think of Africa. It's like a big ass continent, but there's like, what, 50, 60 countries in there, maybe, you know? So it's kind of like maybe 55 or whatever it is. There's a lot of countries in Africa, and you've got to get each of these people to agree to join this thing called cryptocurrency. Whereas with Russia, you got to convince one man, Vladimir. And then in China, you got the Xi Jinping guy, right? You just got to convince one person. In Africa, you got like 40 to 50 people you got to convince. So you see why it's probably taking a little bit longer? So that's what you got going on. Africa has 1930s infrastructure. Borders are barriers. Wang Zhang, yes. We know about Wang Zhang. Let's go one last article here. Okay, this will be a quick one. Then we're done. Sunday morning, and it's 8 o'clock a.m. now. Let me do a copy paste. So now we're going to have Japan jumping in to India. MUFG invests an additional 334 million into something called DMI financing. Now, this is actually a really big company. Go to the third paragraph. MUFG valued DMI finance at $3 billion, like becoming the digital lender's second largest shareholder. So what do we got here? MUFG, why is this a big deal? They're Japan's biggest bank. Oh, also a Ripple partner. Oh, so that's a double. Oh, you got Japan's biggest bank, Ripple partner, comes into India, spends $565 million. They put 334 million in, but they've also put in below. If you go to the fourth paragraph, you'll see they actually have 565 million invested in this DMI finance. So it's a loan company, not a bank. But what we got going on is, I think what we're going to see is MUFG trying to turn DMI possibly into a bank in the future. That's what I'm looking. That's what I would say is happening. We're seeing fintech companies getting mixed in with lenders, with banks, and you're going to start seeing things merge like this. Remember when I said you had 100 crypto exchanges, right? But in the end, you might have 10. That's what that's what we have happening. Regulations are going to come in and shut out crypto exchanges that aren't registered like banks. You're going to have to be an all-in-one. And it's going to be good and it's going to be bad. If you're invested in some of these companies that bought a fintech crypto exchange, that thing's going to take off. Because regulation wins, okay? If you're not registered like a bank and you're a crypto exchange, you're done. So what's going to happen is banks are going to come in and take over all this stuff. Look, let me tell you, there's people out there that feel, oh, banks are going to go bankrupt and we're going to be free from banks. No, you're not, because you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. Banks are not going to go bankrupt. What's bankrupt is your thought process for saying these things. Banks aren't going anywhere. They're going to end up buying fintech companies. Banks are going to buy exchanges, and these sorts of things, they're going to all merge together. That's how this goes. So what we're seeing here is just one example of that, is where a bank is coming in buying a lender. And this MUFG bank, we haven't had the crypto get released yet, but they're already a Ripple partner. They're waiting. MUFG is waiting. It knows what's going on. It's getting set up for regulations to hit. And when crypto gets the green light, MUFG will be a first mover. They'll get first mover advantage. Now, I'm just going to show you this article. I'm not going to read it. MUFG, Ripple partner. 5 Dennis 1 2 3. This is actually the crore currency, Bangladesh, Nepal, India. Interesting. Abel says Africa has 54 countries. I knew it was like 50 to 60 or something. So right there's your evidence. The Bank of Tokyo Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group, Ripple Partner, right there. That particular article, but Google and Ripple are partners with India's national payment system. There you have that, and that's pretty much it. So let me check the comments. I'm done with all the news that I found last night. We'll just go through some comments real quick, and then we're done. And I got to get out of here, and it's 8:05 a.m. Pacific. Michael Montclair, Crypto She-Hulk, money is power. Go Japan. XRP is being utilized in all 7 continents. Thoth, the Atlantean, gave 10 people memberships. Oh man. I don't know if we got 10 people on the show. I mean, brand new ones. So let's let it go for a little bit here. But Thoth, the Atlantean, gave Lorenz. Now the members are popping up. Lorenz, then Dim, Andres Escobedo, Luke, Lex, XRP John Wayne, XRP Tribe 33, Chapter 444, Lou Gotti, Blockchains, and then Jordan JMS. Welcome to the channel. You guys are now members. Congratulations. Are you still seeing Oath and Kanto? Building the new Egypt. 7 continents includes Antarctica. Someone told me Brad and David have been there. Yeah, they have. David Schwartz, they went with the World Economic Forum or something, or whoever it was. A group of those crypto elite people all went to Antarctica for some reason. It was very strange. They probably went to look over the edge of the planet because we have a flat Earth. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 10 there. And then Thoth the Atlantean gave Lorenz a membership. There you go. There's the 11th. All right. Well, that's all your news. That's all your news for today, for at least right now. There's a secret UFO base. There's something going on in Antarctica. Probably UFO. I'll go with that. Anyhow, my name's Crypto Hulk. I'll see you all in my next broadcast, probably later today.